Hey everyone, wanted to give you an update on what's going on with the ambulance and a few other things. So I'm not going to actually show you the ambulance in this video. It's cold and dark outside. It's the end of December. So, um, not a whole lot to see. We did a few things with the storage inside the ambulance, rearranged a few things, nothing groundbreaking there. But we took it out a couple of weeks back to Jane's Island, did a weekend camping trip with it, and it worked really well. So we figure we'll take it back to Norfolk to see my son for Christmas. We'll take it back down there. Last time we took it down there, we got all the way into Norfolk, and it broke down on the middle of 64, right in front of the tunnel. Made a lot of people really, really happy with us, and ended up replacing two computers in it. Got it towed for like $500, and it was a mess. So, did a lot of tune-up work on it. Figured we'd take it down again. Now, before we went down, checked all the tires, checked all the air pressures. We had one tire that was low on air, and it's one that I had the valve stem replaced a couple of months ago. And to put air in it, you have to take the outer dual off, because when they put the valve stem in the new tire, they put the little bitty valve stem on it, and I only have one extension at the time, and I was on the other dual. So in the meantime, I have gotten some airline extensions and whatnot, but I hadn't put them on yet because priorities. So I ended up taking the outer dual off, put the extension on, put the tire back together, aired it all up, and it seems to be just fine. So we got new airline extensions on all four rear tires, so you can check them and fill them from the outside without having to take anything apart or trying to reach in between the duals with the airline or anything like that. So plenty of air in the tires. We head down there, drove all the way down there, get to my son's house, park it in his driveway. We plugged it in just to keep the batteries charged. Not that they were going to end dead, but just keep the battery charger on them because it was supposed to be really cold that weekend. The first night we slept in the ambulance, it was like 46 degrees outside, and we knew it was going to be a little bit cool, but we were actually very comfortable inside the ambulance. It retains its heat really well, so we were perfectly comfortable. We didn't turn the heater on or anything like that. Woke up in the morning and all was well with the world. So the next night, we were originally planning on sleeping in the ambulance, but we knew we may not because it was going to be 20 degrees, and that's a little bit more than we were willing to push it. So we stayed in the house for the next two nights. A big storm had rolled through the East Coast. Lots of people lost power. We actually lost power here at the house. We weren't here. We had some friends looking after some things. They lost power for quite a few hours, but we didn't lose anything here, which is fine. So we drove back, and it drove fine all the way back. Plenty of power, much more than we did last time. It did not take us 7 hours to get back this time, and we didn't spend any money on it other than fuel. We stopped for once for fuel on the way down. We drove all the way back without refueling, so I was very happy with that. All the way down, all the way back, no issues. Worked great the whole way. So it's parked outside right now. Like I said, it's dark out there. Nothing really to show you. I'll try to get another update here in a few days of the week or whatever. So, in the meantime, I think on the last update I told you we were doing an engine swap on the Jeep. This is the motor that we took out of it. We did complete the engine swap. The Jeep actually does run right now, but can't go very far with it. So this is the motor we pulled out, and it's, we think, the original motor to the Jeep. The spare one that we put in the Jeep, we thought had been rebuilt, but in looking at it and consulting with the people that we got it from, it turns out it wasn't rebuilt. It was just pulled out of another Jeep, cleaned up a little bit, and put in storage. So found out the water pump is bad on the replacement motor. So we pulled the water pump off of this motor, and I have it right here. I had replaced this motor, this water pump on this motor last year, I believe it was. So this water pump is really not all that old, and as soon as I can get the gasket in, we're going to go ahead and do the water pump swap on the Jeep over there. We ordered it the other day. It's supposed to be here today. We don't have it yet. They haven't called us to tell us it's in, so hopefully tomorrow it'll be here. and I can get this water pump in the Jeep this weekend, I hope. So, like I said, it does run. I pulled it out the other day and went around the block once, and I don't want to go any further than that without replacing a water pump, because it's plenty of fluid in it to go around the block. The other thing I did is I got new headlights on it. You can see I've got the LED lights, but I also have the flashy rings on them. Change the color. There we go. So they do all sorts of different things. I can pick a color and make it stay that color. You can put an app on your phone and change it through your phone, but whatever. Most importantly, it's much, much, much brighter. The headlights are very bright, white LED. It came with 4 little fog lamps, but I haven't put those on yet. The other thing I did get for the Jeep is, you can see right here on the corner of the video, on the bumper, right over there, is some mounting tabs that I've added to the bumper for a tow bar. So I've got a tow bar for it, has removable pins. You can take it off and put it out of the way somewhere, so you don't have to have it permanently mounted on the front of the Jeep. So the idea is to flat tow the Jeep. Normally I have a flatbed trailer that I drive it up onto, but sometimes I don't want to take the flatbed trailer. So I got the tow bar, and eventually I'm going to put a hitch on the ambulance so I can use the ambulance to tow the Jeep. Now, the ambulance isn't really designed as a tow vehicle, but the Jeep is so light and the ambulance has more than enough power. The ambulance will probably never know the Jeep's back there. I mean, the poor Jeep only weighs like 1,200 pounds or something silly like that. I actually need to go have it weighed. I don't know how much it weighs, but I know the ambulance weighs 12,000 pounds, and that Jeep doesn't weigh anywhere near that. So we go to the off-road park to go play with the Jeep. Normally I have to take the pickup truck with the flatbed trailer, but if I want to have any meaningful time up there, because it's 4 or 5 hours away, I like to stay overnight. Well, to stay overnight I have to take the camper trailer. Well, I can't haul the camper trailer and the flatbed trailer with the Jeep at the same time. So the idea is to take the ambulance, put a hitch on it, flat tow the Jeep, stay in the ambulance, go play with the Jeep, then put it back on the ambulance, stay overnight again, drive home. We'll see how that works. Or we can go other places with it and take the Jeep with us. Go to some of the Jeep jamborees and stuff like that. A little bit easier to just tow the Jeep with the ambulance, I hope. So I got the tow bar. The plan is to put it on the pickup truck first, use the pickup truck to tow it around the neighborhood, tow it a little bit up the road and back so I can get used to actually flat towing it. I've never flat towed the Jeep, not this Jeep or any other Jeep. I've read a lot about it, I learned a lot about it, but I haven't actually done it yet. So that's kind of the plan, is to hook it up to this Jeep, pull it around, see what I need to do. The transfer case, you can put it in neutral. And that's kind of one of the advantages people buy these Jeeps for, is it has a transfer case. You can put it in neutral. When you do that, the axles will still spin, but the transmission won't, because it's not transmitting anything through the transfer case. So we'll see how that works. The other thing that we have done is, we have this go-kart that we're working on over here for the Shrine. I'll probably post a video about working on it here pretty soon. We've created an all-new chassis for it, and I'm working on the brakes right now. That's going to be a lot of fun. So a lot of things going on. Not this week, because everybody's gone for the holidays. The 2 guys that do most of the work with me here, they're out of town visiting family, all this sort of things, and that's expected. I mean, it's this weekend and this week. Nobody does anything between Christmas and New Year's anyway. And with it being cold outside, we're going to start focusing on a lot more inside the garage stuff. So a lot more Jeep stuff, go-kart stuff. We'll be playing with the ambulance from time to time, but with it being cold out there through January and February, we'll probably not do a whole lot, especially now that it's working. And when the weather picks up, we'll do some more camping videos. That's all I got for now. Talk to you guys later.